Hey everyone, Johnny B Review Central here, and I'm reviewing the Apple SE. Well, the iPhone SE. This is the phone that Apple brought out. Well, it's bringing out in the next 7 days, exactly 1 week. Apple's and pretty much the first compact phone of 2020, probably the only under 5-inch phone in about this year and last year, which is impressive. But to top it off, this phone is $400, $399 to be exact. This is pretty much the cheapest release price Apple has ever brought out. $400 is by far cheaper than the by far cheaper than the latest iPhones. It's pretty much on the level of a Xiaomi budget phone, which is impressive for iPhone. The phone hasn't been released yet, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. I don't know much about it, to be honest. But here are my expectations of it. Oh, I know for sure it has a 13 megapixel front camera and a 7 megapixel selfie camera, which is pretty much similar specs to the iPhone 8. I think it actually has the exact same body as the iPhone 8. 4.7-inch screen, sorry, 4.7-inch body. Yeah, pretty much exact body of the iPhone 8. Really compact, as you can see on the screen. The colors are red, white, and black. And there's a lot of different opinions in it. Personally, my opinion of it is I think it's a really interesting phone, as one, it's a budget phone. Two, it's good for one-handed use because it's a lot smaller. Compact phones are really going scarce nowadays due to everyone trying to get bigger phones to put more cameras on it. But this has kind of backtraced the steps that all the other phone companies have been doing so far. As you can see here, it only has one camera and it has bezels. I'm not too sure about the bezels or why they're there. I was thinking that they could have had a compact phone but without the bezels. Have a 4.7-inch phone and everything's a screen. I would have expected iPhone to that, but they didn't. Instead, they went with the normal iPhone 8 body, which is quite disappointing in my opinion, but other people see it as really good. I like that they reintroduced the home button, which was iPhone's trademark, which was erased as phones went to fully screen. And the iPhone, I think, stopped at iPhone X, and from there, the home button hasn't been seen again until now with iPhone SE 2020, which is kind of nostalgic. Now, moving on, it has the A13 Bionic chip, which makes it much faster than the iPhone 8 was, and due to that, the camera will also be of a much better quality, although it's the same camera of the iPhone 8. You can expect to see a camera quality similar to possibly even the iPhone 11, which would be great. Think about having an iPhone 11 camera, although you only spent $400. That's what iPhone was aiming at with this endeavor of only putting all of these 2017 specs in the phone, but using an A13 processor. What I think about the pricing, it was a good try. I think that it should have been maybe possibly $50 cheaper, and you would have grabbed a lot more people. The S10e is pretty much, I'm not, in terms of camera, iPhone should be better, but the S10e has better battery life, better gaming quality, pretty much better power in general, and it's only for about $10 to $20 more than it. So if I was iPhone, I would have probably put the SE about $50 cheaper, make a bit more of a margin between it and the other mid-range phones. So Here's a couple of other things. One, this is why you should. Well, I already said why you should buy it. It's more compact, it's cheap, and it has the A13 Bionic chip, which makes it around the same power of an iPhone 11. But these are three reasons why you shouldn't buy it now. The reason why it shouldn't buy the iPhone 11 is because one, there are so many more alternatives for such a cheaper price. If this is around the price of a mid-range phone now, for this you can get pretty much the Google Pixel 4a, which should be coming out by the end of the year. The Google Pixel 3 is still around this price as well. And you can get, as I said earlier, the S10e. You can also go for a Xiaomi, which is also cheaper than this, by a good $200 to $300 in some occasions. And I just think that there's so much more. If you are going for a budget phone, I think that you should probably go cheaper. But if you are going for a mid-range phone, I would say this is probably one of the best options you can find. As between, I consider mid-range between 350 to under 700. So the OnePlus 8, I won't consider that as a budget phone. Oh, sorry, a mid-range phone. That's a flagship. So as I was saying, the last reason why I shouldn't buy it, I said one, it's there are so many other alternatives, and two, it's a bit behind in the design. A lot of people said, why don't we have so many? Why do we still have these bezels in 2020? I, I personally thought bezels were long abandoned until iPhone came back and put on a full bezeled phone once more, which was kind of shocking to me. But it's iPhone. You never know what's coming with them. So, lastly, I mentioned 2 points. Lastly, it's lacking a couple of things. Like one, I thought they would have gone with the adding a headphone jack, but they didn't add that back, which is interesting. You would think that by going with the SE name, you would think that they would keep the SE feeling of having a headphone jack, but it seems like they decided to follow inch by inch, nitpick by nitpick the iPhone 8 design. So no, it doesn't have a headphone jack, it doesn't have FM radio, it doesn't have, it has a very low battery. The pixels, I won't judge it too hard on the pixels because since it's a smaller screen, the pixels will look better. Although it's only 750 pixels, it should look better due to the screen being so much smaller, so that's a plus. As you can see, someone here was kind of upset with how the iPhone SE was made or marketed, and others are really happy. Someone commended iPhone for doing such a great job with the pricing. I still think that it should have gone around $50 to $40 cheaper, but it's a really mixed emotions among the tech community in this regard. But interesting, very interesting. I want to tip my hat to iPhone for going all the way to do something that nobody else was even thinking about doing. So that's that's a really good plus to iPhone. And yeah, would I recommend that you buy the phone? If you're into Apple and your budget is below 400, definitely buy this phone. If you are into all of the cool commodities of iPhone, such as the emojis, the apps, and iTunes, all of that, definitely this is the phone. If you are looking for a budget phone, it opened the way for a lot of iPhone fans who couldn't come in because they couldn't have bought the phone because of it being too expensive. So this is a really good marketing move to enter them into the environment or ecosystem of Apple. So if you're a budget user and you like Apple, definitely buy this phone. If you're more of an Android user and this is looking interesting too, I would recommend that you search on a bit more. So that's all I have to say. Make sure to stay safe, stay home. John B. Review Central out.